Times people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What would be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect. How do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
We start by making sure those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that the other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President, like you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us.
A lot of confirmation reports, and some of us have not read these reports. I don't know how would that inform.
Good afternoon, fellow discrimination colleagues. Madam President, I would love us to put the report that you mentioned us to security coming to invite the police director and the justice minister to be mandate issue. As we just work out the B-Martin issue is getting serious, and we just about to receive a petition on the B-Martin, it's pricing. So I think our report should be read and the recommendation taken seriously to avoid official courage.
Yeah, that's important. What I mentioned.
Thank you, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Senator Dillon.
Madam Presiding, I see at the 5A issue of the national budget covered by Senator Bravo Brown. I wanted to ask about the national budget. So I don't know whether it ties in with the same, because in a 10 month, I don't want to make a debate now, but if it is not related to what Senator Brown is talking about issue of the national budget, and then I want us to put it on our AOB. I have some questions, where's the national budget? Okay.
Senator Dillon, that issue was discussed this morning with the we'll take it out the agenda after consulting with him. Because we give a mandate for the chairperson of Ways and Finance to do some consultation and report to us.
Okay.
Yeah, Rizali colleagues, I see on the agenda here, on the 6A, report from the ad hoc committee on the Army-wide protests. Presiding because of the security nature of this report, I want to ask that same be discussed in executive.
We're allowed to be discussed.
Good afternoon, folks. Let's welcome to the Liberia television with Governor F2 the Liberia Senate Education for the very best we have done for you.
In closed session.
First in the Ocean Best Entertainment.
Thank you,
Keep
President.
following us on this platform, folks.
May I suggest with the provision that the public will get some briefing from other the leadership through you, appropriately update, the people need to know.
So that is not executive session. We'll just close session. After that, we'll report. to the
Yeah, what I
public.
mean, yeah, after
Yes,
that.
yes.
Thank you.
Madam President, during
Yeah,
the
set
last,
up.
during the last sitting, I suggested an AOP in relation to the same issue in Cape Town. And that was to give a briefing of what has been happening. I don't know whether that can be captured under the
Which one?
briefing from the Cape Town incident. So
So
I don't know whether we can put it
report on that.
together.
So when we're having that discussion. Yeah, that is- yeah.
Okay.
Any more intervention? Yeah, we have a motion.
So second.
Yeah, then move and second that is agenda. We are done. Are you ready to vote? All in favor? Against? Senator, Senator.
Business of President. Communication from the President of Liberia on nominations made now. Republic of Liberia. The President. Senator Yomri Kangalor, President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate in section. Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Madam President pro tempore, I'm pleased to submit herewith the following nominations pending Senate confirmation where applicable to count. Liberia Intellectual Property Office. 1. Carmine Koboy, Director General, Liberia Intellectual Property. 2. Clarence Cole, Deputy Director General for Copyright, Liberia Intellectual Office Property. National Disaster Management Agency. Conto D. Sega, Deputy Director for Administration, National Disaster Management Agency. 2. Louis K.D. Morris, Deputy Director for Operations, the National Disaster Management Agency. General Services Agency, GSA. 1. Johnson P. Sloan, Deputy Director General for Administration. 2. Robert Wilson, Deputy Director General for Operations. The National Fire Service. 1. G. Wasua Bavo, Senior, Director, National Fire Service. Liberia Maritime Authority. Yvonne Clinton, Deputy Commissioner for Vessels Registration and Safety, Liberia Maritime Authority. 2. Councillor Margaret C. Asumana, Deputy Commissioner for Maritime Operations, Liberia Maritime Authority. 3. Emmanuel Reeves, Deputy Commissioner for Fiscal Affairs, Liberia Maritime Authority. Foreign Service Institute. 1. Reginald B. Goodrich, Director General, the Foreign Service Institute. I would greatly appreciate if these are given expedited confirmation by the Senate so as to ensure smooth transition in government. Sincerely, Joseph Yuma Boaka Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia. Madam Presiding Protector.
Distinguished Senator, you've heard the reading of the communication from the President on nomination. What is your witness question? Senator Boyd.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, distinguished senators. Having listened to the reading of communication from the President of the Republic of Liberia, I move, if I can obtain a second, that the communication be received and the officials of government nominated therein be sent to the different committees responsible and for said committees to make report to the plenary. If I can obtain a second.
Without restating the motion, are you ready to vote? All in favor? Against?
Business on President's desk. Communication from the House of Representatives submitting the below instrument. Resolution calling for the establishment of war and economic crimes courts in Liberia. The Honorable House of Representatives, Office of the Chief Clerk, March 5, 2024. The Honorable Liberian Senate in session, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Honorable Pro Tempore and members, I have the honor by directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in session to forward here to the below instrument, quote, resolution calling for the establishment of war and economic crimes, quote, in Liberia, unquote. The above mentioned instrument was adopted by the Honorable House of Representatives on Tuesday, March 5, 2024, at the hour of 12:52 GMT, during its regular section, and seeks your concurrence. Please accept, Honorable Pro Tempore and members, the renewed assurances of my highest esteem. Kind regards, sincerely yours, Gabriel and Sion, Chief Clerk. The resolution. Resolution calling for the establishment of war and economic crimes court in Liberia. Whereas the civil wars from 1989 to 2003 resulted in death and destruction across Liberia, including the displacement of nearly half the population, horrific abuses, including summary executions, massacres, rape, and other forms of sexual violence, mutilation and torture, and forced conscription and use of child combatants. And whereas Article 13 of the Liberian Comprehensive Peace Agreement, signed on August 18, 2003, provided for the establishment of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to provide a forum that will address issues of impunity, as well as opportunity for both victims and perpetrators of human rights violations to share their experiences in order to get a clear picture of the past to facilitate genuine healing and reconciliation. And whereas the Liberian legislature enacted the act to establish
Protem, distinguished colleagues, my order takes into account our rules on voluminous nature, and with your approval, I would like to move that we have heard the reading of a communication from the Honorable House of Representatives, along with a resolution that is calling for the establishment of War Crimes Code, Economic Crimes Code. I want to move that the communication from the House along with the resolution be received. I already gave the order. My order, I've already said it, my order is based on our rules on voluminous nature. Okay.
All right, so order sustained. We cannot get a motion.
I'm already explaining. You want me to take that exercise? Thank you. Thank you, Protem. Distinguished colleagues, thank you, Protem, for sustaining the order. Having heard the reading of the communication from our colleagues from the Honorable House of Representatives, along with a resolution that is calling for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia, I move that the communication along with the resolution be received, copies made for each senator, and that this document be referred to the following committees: Committee on Judiciary, and because it has security implication, we want to add a committee on security to report to this plenary in 2 weeks. So moved.
Senator J. Blebo Brown, with the movement for the resolution calls for the establishment of War Crime Court, have come to the Liberian Senate.
Made and circulated to all senators, and that the resolution be sent to the Committee on Judiciary and Defense and Security.
All right.
Are you ready to vote?
All right.
Senator Dillon?
Mr. Movement, I will be ready to vote if we accept this amendment to your motion, that will get clarity whether this is a bill, a petition to us, or a resolution. We gotta be clear with what we're receiving from the House.
Yes.
Is this a bill to establish a court, or a petition to ourselves, or what? I want that clarity before I vote.
I'm
I'm ready to vote because I don't know clearly what
Senator Aprons Darosde Long, who is seeking clarity.
Honorable Senator of Montserrat County, if you look on your agenda, which is in my hand, it reads resolution calling for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. So the clarity you need, this is a resolution according to the reading from the secretary and in accordance with what is on our agenda.
So that's the better. Now we're trying to get something here.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Mr. Nominee?
Nominee.
So yeah, nominee. Please go over there. Move right here. Go say over there. I'm asking the nominee to see the
We gotta be clear with what we're receiving. And this is not to debate your motion.
Right.
I want clarity before I vote.
Well,
I want to know whether we're receiving a resolution calling for the establishment of the World Cup Fund. Is that a resolution that we should be receiving? Or is it a bill? Or if it is a petition, are we petitioning ourselves? Information.
follow clarification.
Defeat the motion.
Follow clarification.
Petitioning ourselves, is that a
We
petition?
are only amending the motion.
No, never get the
So the resolution from the Honorable House of Representatives just entered into the Liberian Senate, and Senator Empress Darrell DeLong, including other senators, want to know as to whether this is a resolution or a bill. So based upon that, they have gone to consult with the pro tem. So those of you following us, let's get your views and comments on this live coverage on Today Liberia television. Let's turn our camera out there to where they are now. So we are here with the pro tem having some presentation. One of the senators have gone to have some consultation with the pro tem. This is where they are now to seek a further clarity to know as to whether this is a bill or a resolution. So all of the senators are here having some consultation with the Senate pro tem. So keep following us for the very best this online platform have to offer you. The World Economic Frankfurt resolution that came from the as a representative to the Liberian Senate. I have gone this far to the extent that the senators want to get clarity on it as to whether it is a resolution to be signed or a bill sent to the Liberian Senate. So Senator Empress Darrell DeLong alongside other senators are here pushing the presiding to have this is a live coverage coming live to you from the Liberian Senate folks. Keep watching for the very best we have to offer you. For the very best we have to.
I think the Senate is really interested in a clear definition of what we have before us to take action. So we ask Mr. Brown, who is the movement, to give, or any other senator, to give us a clear definition of what we have before us from the House of Representatives.
Thank you, Pro Tem. Distinguished colleagues, as I have stated, and to reiterate, this plenary, the Liberian Senate, has not received a bill from the House a bill to establish the war and economic crimes court in Liberia.
Right.
What we have received today is a resolution from the House. And that's why we are saying we send this resolution to our committees to analyze it and advise this plenary in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
So what we have before us, it is not a bill.
1 month.
Thank you, Protocol. In view of the clarity, I'll be ready to vote.
Right.
In the movement to agree for the Committee on Internal Affairs to be part of the assembly dealing with domestic issues and all of that. That's one. Two, there are implications for international law. I will also be ready to vote. And the movement can agree for the Committee on Foreign Affairs to be part of this when that body constitutional committee. Because there's international law implication.
We are aware that this resolution, by its title, may impact almost all of the committees.
Yeah, right.
But to have a report brought back on this floor in time, we would like to cut down on the number of committees.
Right.
We don't want to say we reject, but we want to appeal that we allow these 2 committees that we name
Accept or reject.
honorably.
Senator Jalai and movement have been already noticed have been rejected by the movement.
I think 2 weeks is too long for such a national emergency. So let this emergency. Let us call it every 1 week, and in 1 week we should debate it. When it come on the floor, let's debate it. The House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate both have concurrent jurisdiction. So instead of passing law, instead of bring resolution, let's bring it and debate it on the floor in 1 week.
Senator Snow.
I want to assure, I would like to assure the distinguished senator that indeed, upon receipt of the committees, the 2 committees, the joint committee report, this resolution will indeed be debated. But in line with our rules. But because we want the 2 committees to do justice to this resolution, we want to maintain the 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
So, Mr. Mugen, what are you doing? So, I need further clarity, Senator Dopo. Senator Dopo, I'm discussing. So, my concern is, I'm hearing resolution, but there are 3 forms of resolution. One is the simple resolution that affects one house. There is a concurrent resolution that affects both houses. And there's a joint resolution. I'm going to the mention for the president's signature on our code 001. I'd like to know which resolution we are discussing here.
They are already there.
Yeah, I'm already there. I'm trying to vote if I can do
that. That's why all these issues will be brought back by our committee. So let's allow the committee to work, analyze the resolution, and report.
Well, I'm going to distinguish given that this is a resolution asking this
honorable body that has the power to create code, asking itself to create a code instead of creating the code itself. I think I will be ready to vote if the movement will accept that we just do that in a week, so that we just understand exactly what it's about. I'm appealing.
We want to move on that. Is it right?
Reject. All right, all those animals, all others.
Yeah. No, you just say you're going to debate before they vote.
I read the vote.
I'm not going to say I'm going to debate.
All in favor? Against? So the committee will report in 2 weeks.
To the Liberian television, the World Economic Council resolution from the Honorable House of Representatives to the Liberian Senate have been placed in a committee room to come back on the floor within 2 weeks to have a very harsh debate after 2 weeks. They have gone to the committees on judiciary and security as well.
The Liberian Senate, legal opinion. So the plenary of the Liberian Senate, from the Judiciary Committee of the Liberian Senate, Capitol Building, subject, elections, appointment of city mayor. Date, March 5, 2024. Fights. On the 20th day of February 2024, during the regular section of the Liberian Senate, with Senator James P. Barney of Maryland County presiding over the AOB item on the day's agenda. Senator Nathaniel F. Mangill of Margibi County was given the floor to introduce his AOB item that has to do with election and appointment of city mayors. Senator Mangill remarked that the issue of city mayors was raised before, and he informed the Senate that there was an opinion of the Supreme Court of Liberia wherein the court ruled that mayors are subject to appointment by the President of the Republic of Liberia. According to Senator Mangill, when the issue was first raised, it was referred to Senator Chie, the chair of the Judiciary Committee, and now that the Senate is about to conduct confirmation proceeding for an individual nominated to serve as the next mayor of the city of Monrovia, it was appropriate to inquire from the Judiciary Committee chair as to the advice sought by plenary on the subject matter. While the Senate chair on judiciary was attempting to address the issue raised by Senator Mangill, Senator Darius DeLong of Mosquito County called an order on the attempted presentation of Senator Chie on grounds that instead of an oral briefing, the judiciary chair should be mandated by plenary to do a written opinion on the matter to serve as a guard to inform the votes of senators during the confirmation proceedings of the nominee for the post of mayor of the city of Monrovia. And said opinion could be used for future reference. The motion for a written opinion was carried, and the chair on judiciary was instructed to do a written opinion. Issues. Whether or not the Supreme Court opinion on the subject matter indicates that city mayors shall be appointed by the President of the Republic of Liberia. 2, if the President can appoint city mayors, can they be subject to confirmation hearing by other local government officials? Holding. The answer to the 2 issues mentioned so far is yes. Opinion. The Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia in the case. The Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, by and through its Secretary General Eugene Len Namis, and the Liberty Party, LP, by and through its chairman, Israel Akinsaya, all of the city of Monrovia Liberian practitioners, versus the executive branch of the government of the Republic of Liberia, by and through the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Internal Affairs, and all those operating under their command, also of the city of Monrovia respondents. Petition for the writ of prohibition, heard on December 4, 2007 and decided January 11, 2008. The Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia denied the petition for the writ of prohibition prayed for by the petitioners on the following grounds. 1. That the petitioners claim that they have vested interest in the political process of Grand Julia County, specifically the appointment of mayor of the city of Zwedu, and by that they have the right to field candidates for election to the position. In making the claim, the petitioners relied on, quote, an act regulating the time of elections of mayors throughout the Republic, approved August 9, 1979, and published August 20, 1979. The election law of the Republic of Liberia, 3 LLR, subsection 2.9Q, and the Conference on the Holding of Chieftaincy and Municipal Elections, dated October 14, 2006, held in Lower Buchanan, Rabasa County. Among the aforementioned, the Supreme Court indicated that one issue that is determinative of the entire petition was whether the act regulated the time and election of the city mayors throughout the Republic of Liberia, approved August 9, 1979, and published August 20, 1979, violates any provision of the Liberian Constitution of 1986, and therefore is unconstitutional. The act. It is enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia next week in Assembly. Section 1. That from immediately after the passage of this act, all city mayors throughout the Republic of Liberia shall be elected, generally on the second Tuesday in November, and shall serve for 4 years from the time of the election. And all elections held for city mayors under the respective charters of the city shall be valid for extend to include the second Tuesday in November 1979. Section 2. This act shall take effect immediately upon publication in bills. Any law to the contrary that will stand.
So I want to understand what is the report of communication? But we don't have copies. But we only have a general report.
That the report was personal agenda. Whatever. Yeah, so why we have an agenda, so that's why I've been raised before we adopted the agenda.
Wow, I want to raise
Do we have any recommendations? Do we have any? Yeah, we need to know
What the key findings and
what the findings are.
if we are that, we can't debate. Some don't have the document, we'll raise another motion that we defer it because we don't know what we are. And we cannot just vote on this.
So, the chair was mandated to do a report to clarify.
Yeah, right.
So it's just for information. Yeah, it's for information.
So we do
Let me
I see what legal issue there. And we go see the problem. The chairman was not covered by plenary to do a personal chairman opinion. That matter was referred to the judiciary committee.
the chairman will ask.
The committee was
Order, protest.
The report was on the agenda. Can we get the findings or?
Yeah.
Just hear the findings and then we do the
Oh, my dear women.
Senator, do have a final comment?
Madam President, it's a legal opinion. It's a legal opinion.
So the report is a legal opinion, and I think it should go back to the committee. Yeah, we should go back to the committee and get a complete report.
But what they're running as chairman and our committee is not there. They want to run as a chairman and other meetings.
Yes, Mr. President. Yes, Mr. President.
Sarah, why are the pass on that? So we're after 30 minutes to read the next item.
This is the President's text. Based on the workings of the Senate, may I pray for indulgence to vote to E. Communication for Senators Johnny King Lady of Bomb and Abbott Sugar Chair of Grand Prairie counties respectively regarding the Liberia Robert Sector Executive Order number 124 issued on October 23, 2003 by former President George Manneh Sr., placing a moratorium on the exportation of unprocessed natural rubber. The Liberian Senate, March 6, 2024. Senator Youngly Cardinal Lawrence, President Pro Tempore, and members of the Liberian Senate. Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Reference. Liberia Rubber Sector, Executive Order number 124. We present our compliments and wish to draw the attention of plenary to Executive Order number 124 issued on November 23, 2023 by former President George Manneh Sr., placing a moratorium on the exportation of unprocessed natural rubber. Our offices have received information from the field that this moratorium is bringing untold suffering to Liberian rubber farmers and is stagnating the rubber industry to the economic disadvantage of the government of Liberia. The Liberia rubber sector is dominated by few foreign factory owners who control and decide the prices and other sales conditions to their advantage and disadvantage of the majority of smallholder Liberian farmers. Statistics show that Liberia rubber farmers account for approximately 60% of the rubber produced in Liberia, but they remain very poor, while the few foreign entities who own factories have and continue to amass wealth. Distinguished colleagues, Executive Order number 124 and 3 previous moratoria issued between 2006 and 2003 and 13 by successive governments undermine the value chain in the rubber sector and gives advantage to the economic interests of owners of foreign rubber factories. The government is under moral and constitutional obligations to promote the welfare of its citizens and provide them opportunities for sustainable livelihoods and unfiltered opportunities for growth in business. In respect of the foregoing, we kindly request that plenary discusses the perennial issuance of Executive Order on moratorium on the exportation of unprocessed rubber, especially that of Executive Order number 124. In order to ease the suffering of Liberia's rubber farmers, we also request plenary to mandate the Senate leadership to work with the executive branch of government to suspend Executive Order number 144 and give local Liberian rubber farmers at least 24 months to construct the relevant facilities for the processing of natural rubber. Madam President Pro Tempore and distinguished colleagues, we seize this opportunity to reiterate the need for empowerment of Liberians and the promotion of local content in all sectors of the economy. Very truly yours, Johnny Kikwe, Senator of Bon County, Albert Tubechie, Senator of Grand Pool County, and President Pro Tempore Emeritus. Madam President Pro Tempore Presiding Officer, the reading of the communication from the two distinguished voices.
Distinguished colleagues, you heard the reading of a communication from Senator John Quayle and Senator Albert Shea regarding an executive order about the rubber sector. What is the word of pleasure? Senator Dillon.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the reading of a communication from Senators Johnny Kekwe of Bon County and Senator Albert Tubechie of Grand Pool County, respectively, regarding the Liberian rubber sector, Executive Order number 124, issued on November 23, 2023, by former President George Malavia, placing a moratorium on the exportation of unprocessed natural rubber. I move that the communication be accepted, that the author select one of themselves to make 2-minute summary of the communication. Thereafter, the matter be referred to the committees on agriculture and judiciary, since the business issue of the law, executive order.
Judiciary as a committee or the chairman?
The chairman.
Now, when I say judiciary, I mean I refer to the committee. But when I say the chairman, then
The committee on agriculture. The committee on agriculture and the committee on judiciary to report to this body Tuesday.
Which Tuesday?
Without restating the motion, are you ready to vote? I'm ready next from Senator Moy.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Distinguished colleague, I'll be ready to vote if my distinguished colleague can accept this very important amendment that the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and Budget be added, giving the 4% implication on the importation of raw rubber, unprocessed rubber. No. We have to be there. It's very serious. It's very serious financial implication.
Send my bill to send our salary of 5,000 women to the committee on which I meet. They want to say yes. I have to
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, Mr. Movement, since this matter is of great concern to farmers and other major state actors, and in order for us to be informed,
Right.
the committee will have to engage those state actors to ascertain all of the facts.
Right.
On account of that, I we'll be ready to vote if we can accept that the committee reports in 2 weeks.
Move on.
That, we want a comprehensive report on this matter. And that while you are making your, already then I saw the chairman and reporter of lobbying his head. I hereby accept.
The already of Senator J. Ibana Nukwe have been accepted by the movement. The movement of this is Senator April Darrell. Let's go to the author, folks.
Oh, we have a vote. I will have a vote.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Against?
Okay, distinguished colleagues, presiding, I'm here to make a case in favor of the small rubber farmers who are suffering because of the moratorium. Because the moratorium placed on the export of unprocessed rubber. As we stated in the letter, the local farmer constitutes 60% of the output. And if you stop them from exporting rubber, they are stored. Right now, they are stockpiles upon stockpiles of unprocessed rubber. So right now, the small farmers are going out of business. They can't even pay their employees. Remember, there are about 50,000 Liberians in the small farm business. And when these big companies come, use their influence to stagnate their progress, and executive orders are issued, then it becomes a problem. It does not only affect the farmers, it also affects our economy. So our request is very simple. Let's discuss the perennial and constant issuance of executive orders and help our farmers to be able to build those factories so that they can process the rubber. So we are requesting that the moratorium placed through executive order number 24 be suspended, give our local farmers at least 2 years for them to put their resources together. So in the Kwasa type factories, let them build it so that the export can continue. But right now, they have to export, otherwise they will crumble. So that's my plea to plenary, and please give that your urgent consideration.
Thank you, Senator.
About to
We'll wait for the
get
committee
you
to report in 2 weeks.
of great good content.
They say one person talk. They say one person talk. No problem. They say you don't mind. You don't 15 minutes. No problem.
They know that it's fine toilet. They don't know what rubber in toilet. They don't know what mineral toilet.
Communication from Senator Level Brown of Maryland County. The Liberian Senate, March 6, 2024. Honorable Yabini Kanga, President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill.
That is the committee report.
Senator Level Brown.
So they put that on the agenda?
What?
No.
Okay.
Dear Honorable Senator Lawrence and colleagues in session. Subject: request to invite authorities of the Central Bank of Liberia (CBN) to provide updates on the implementation of Joint Resolution number 001 of the legislature. Distinguished colleagues, it can be recalled that in 2021, the legislature adopted a joint resolution number 001 authorizing the Central Bank of Liberia to print a new family of Liberian dollar currency in the value of $48,734 million. The justification provided by the CBL was that over 89% of Nigeria's money stock was outside of the banking system. Two, that two distinct family vendors existed in Liberia. And three, there was a high quantity of mutilated banknotes in the available stock of money supply. Distinguished colleagues, having gone 3 years into the implementation of the resolution, it is imperative that we invite authorities of the CBL to provide updates, especially as to the achievement of the key objectives of the joint resolution. Specifically, the CBL should be requested to report on what level of Liberia's current money stock is now within the banking system. Two, to what extent have the two old family of banknotes been replaced with the new banknotes? Three, what quantity of the mutilated banknotes have now been withdrawn and replaced? Four, what are the deadlines for meeting these targets? And how is the CBL carrying out these tasks in the counties, among others? Thanks, colleagues, and I look forward to your kind endorsement of this request. With sentiments of the highest esteem I remain. Sincerely yours, J. Grevel Brown, Senator of Maryland County, and Chairman, Committee on Rules, Order, and Administration, on the presiding officers.
Distinguished colleagues, you heard the reading from Senator Brown. What is the way of national of a communication from the Senator Joseph?
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President and fellow colleagues, having listened to the reading of the communication from the Senator of Maryland County, I move, if I can obtain a second, that said communication be received and sent to the Committee on Banking and Currency and report to this body within 1 week.
Before restating that motion, I ready to vote. Ready. On readiness by Senator Turbo.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished Senator, so the movement, I'll be ready to vote, given that the central bank has pronounced that by the 31st of March, the legacy note will not be a legal tender. Given the importance of this communication, I will be ready to vote that the communication instead of being sent to the committee, be discussed by this plenary as written by the proponent, due to the importance of timeline given by the central bank.
Move on.
By our rules, all communications sent.
He asked for dispensation.
When you can do Tuesday, but not